High, at the bottom of the ocean in the Philippine Trench, a rescue team led by Jonas strives to save soldiers trapped in a damaged submarine. After rescuing several of them, an unknown external attack damages the submarine. Jonas evacuates the survivors to a rescue submarine, but 2 men are still trapped. Due to the ongoing attack, Jonas faces the painful decision of sacrificing the men to save the others or risking everyone. With sorrow, he leaves the comrades behind to ensure the safety of the others. As they escape, the submarine implodes due to pressure, culminating in a monumental explosion at the ocean floor, and they barely manage to get away. 5 years later in Shanghai, a helicopter brings Morris to the Mana 1 research facility in the ocean, where he is greeted by John, the station director, who introduces him to his daughter Su-Yin, the lead biologist of the team. Descending to the lower levels, they reach the central shaft that leads to the laboratories. Morris admires the view of the ocean depths, as part of the building is submerged. John uses the team and reveals him as the financier. The mission takes them to the Mariana Trench, where they suspect an unknown world beyond the seabed. Captain Laurie leads the team to the ocean floor. The submarine crosses the barrier, revealing an ocean floor teeming with life due to the higher temperature. John explains that due to the barrier, the temperature is higher in this area, allowing the existence of life where it would have been impossible before. However, the team is alerted by radar about the imminent approach of a colossal entity speeding toward them. The creature attacks the submarine, causing violent tremors and disrupting communications, thus preventing the crew from returning to the surface. The group debates the situation and decides to turn to Jonas, an expert in deep rescues. Mac suggests this, but Dr. Heller opposes due to Jonas's previous actions on his last mission. However, Mac reminds them that Jonas's decision prevented a greater number of deaths. So they find Jonas in Thailand, initially reluctant until he learns that his ex-wife Lori was also on the submarine, and he is compelled to accept the mission. Meanwhile, in the ocean, the prisoners regain lights and power, but provoke another attack from the creature, where the captain is injured and oxygen compromised. Recognizing the urgency, Su-Yin initiates an independent rescue and promises to return to her daughter. She enters the submarine and dives into the depths of the ocean to save her friends. Su-Yin goes even deeper into the water, surpassing the barrier that separates the trenches. She advances cautiously to avoid possible hostile creatures and soon finds her friends trapped at the bottom of the ocean. Using hooks, she tries to secure the damaged submarine, but is taken by surprise in an attack from behind, causing the submarine to sway violently. Despite the encounter, she recovers, but enormous tentacles quickly envelop her, squeezing her submarine from all sides, and it becomes clear that the creature is a giant squid. As the capsule is being damaged, the creature suddenly releases her and releases ink to defend itself from something even more threatening. Su-Yin realizes that another dangerous creature is devouring the squid, a megalodon, an ancient predator believed to be extinct. However, the megalodon shifts its attention towards Su-Yin and swiftly moves towards her, aiming to destroy the submarine. At the last moment, the megalodon changes direction upon spotting numerous signaling lights. It's Jonas, who arrived just in time to distract the creature, diverting its focus away from the people and providing a slim chance for them to escape. While the shark is distracted by the lights, Jonas manages to attach Lori's damaged submarine and rescue everyone into his own submarine. However, before the rescue can be completed, the immense creature starts to return, and aware of the time crunch, the last team member pushes the others out and hastily seals the hatch, launching the rescue sub away. He then illuminates all the lights to lure the creature towards him, resulting in a collision that triggers a powerful explosion. Thus, sacrificing himself to save the others, the team manages to return to the surface. Although they mourn the loss of their colleague, Jonas carries the guilt of not being able to save the scientist. Later, the people gather to discuss the next steps. However, Morris reveals a profit-driven interest in the megalodon post-discovery, while opinions heat up in heated debates. Meanwhile, Su-Yin's daughter explores the lower levels without realizing that the massive shark is stealthily approaching. The creature bites the glass and shakes the entire building, forcing the people to figure out what happened and finding only a gigantic bite mark. The nightmare becomes reality when the creature attacks a whale before them, effortlessly splitting it in two. Understanding that the megalodon somehow breached the barrier, they theorize that by emerging from the deep sea, they inadvertently offered the creature an escape route from its natural habitat. Soon, alerts appear on their computers, indicating that several vessels have sunk in the region, likely victims of the creature's attacks. Acting swiftly, they head out to the ocean and arrive at the scene of the sinkings, only to find shipwrecks. They understand the need to contain the threat before more destruction occurs, but time for preparations is scarce. Instead of capturing it, they decide to implant a tracker on its dorsal fin to prevent the shark from destroying more ships. Jonas volunteers to swim close to the animal and place the tracker, but upon entering the water, he realizes the folly of the plan. Surprisingly, the megalodon seems uninterested in devouring him, ignoring his presence and allowing him to successfully place the tracker. However, the team pulls Jonas back, causing a sudden movement in the water that turns the creature hostile, and Jonas becomes a target. The team quickly rescues their friend from the creature's attack by activating the boat. Despite this, the megalodon continues to relentlessly pursue. Jonas narrowly escapes the monster and returns to the boat, feeling the proximity of death. After tagging the animal, the team plans to lure the megalodon into a trap using a cage with bait and a diver. Smaller sharks circle the cage but retreat when something colossal approaches. The gigantic creature attacks the cage, startling the diver Su-yin. Nevertheless, she injects a tranquilizer into the monster while struggling inside its mouth. However, the megalodon persists, attempting to swallow the cage and putting Su-yin's life in danger. At this moment, Jonas acts heroically by leaping into the water and swimming towards his friend, grabbing onto a cable. As the shark continues to tug on the cables, a crew member falls into the ocean, luring the shark toward them, and this offers Jonas the chance to save his teammate. The megalodon swiftly moves towards the surface, attacking the new target, but the woman narrowly escapes, and the shark collides with the boat. Jonas seizes the moment to free his friend, but realizes her oxygen is running out, causing her to faint. Swiftly, he opens the opposite door of the cage and retrieves the unconscious woman as the cage rapidly sinks. On the boat, the team sets up a trap with cables and bait to ensnare the megalodon. The monster lunges at Jonas, but the cables hold it back. At that moment, the tranquilizer takes effect, causing it to stumble and allowing for an escape. Back on the ship, Su-yin is revived by her colleagues and thanks Jonas for rescuing her. Together on the deck, they observe the trapped monster, and as Jonas takes a picture of his teammate, their friends playfully push him into the water, bringing some lightheartedness after the intense events. While celebrating their victory, a terrible twist occurs. An even larger megalodon surfaces suddenly. This monster swallows one of the men, leaping from the ocean to seize the smaller megalodon in its massive jaws. Upon landing on the boat, it overturns the vessel and throws everyone into the water. Desperately, people struggle to regain safety. Jonas manages to rescue Su-yin's father, but he is gravely injured in the fall. They retrieve the lifeboats, their only escape route from the imminent threat. However, the relentless pursuit of the megalodon continues, drawn by the movement of the boats. Fortunately, Morris had called for reinforcements, and they arrive in time for the rescue. Soldiers implant a tracking device on the creature's fin and start firing continuously into the water, forcing the megalodon to retreat into the ocean depths. They escape the danger, but Su-yin's father doesn't survive, leaving his daughter in tears. Back at the base, Morris announces the closure of the research facility until the megalodon is eliminated, stating that he doesn't want to risk more lives and that he has informed the government about the situation. However, his statement is a facade, and in reality, Morris flies with his men towards the giant shark, seeking to eliminate it and avoid any legal implications. They launch several bombs into the water, causing massive explosions that make a colossal body float to the surface. As they approach, they discover that smaller sharks are feasting on what appears to be a whale, and as they realize the danger, Morris accidentally falls into the water, where he is instantly devoured by the monster. The next morning, the truth about Morris is revealed, and the team must act quickly to locate the megalodon before it causes more havoc. They set out to the ocean and track the creature heading towards a beach crowded with bathers. Their attempts to alert the authorities are not taken seriously, so they take matters into their own hands, planning to deter the shark with whale sounds and weapons on their ships. Meanwhile, numerous people swim near the beach, unaware that they have become potential prey for the monster. The megalodon approaches, leaping toward the people, engulfing everything in its path, triggering panic as everyone struggles to escape its voracious grasp. The creature persists in its attacks against people, advancing with ferocity. However, suddenly it changes direction, drawn by the distant sound of a whale. At this moment, Jonas and Su-yin await the megalodon, each inside a submarine. When the beast swiftly arrives and fiercely attacks them, Jonas manages to dodge its jaws, leading it away from the submarine as he navigates through intricate underwater tunnels to avoid being killed. He guides the creature towards Su-yin, who attempts to shoot at the enemy but ends up missing and triggering a gigantic explosion, observed by local news helicopters approaching to investigate. However, the sight of the aquatic monster shocks the pilots, causing them to collide in the air and crash directly onto a boat, forcing everyone to jump into the water to escape the explosion, but now facing the risk of being devoured by the megalodon. Meanwhile, Suyin successfully attracts the creature's attention, leading it in Jonas's direction so he can attack it. However, when he attempts to fire his weapon, the system fails at the worst moment, nearly costing him his life. People in the water, including his daughter, compel Suyin to immediately rescue them, leaving Jonas to confront the shark alone. As he tries to fend off the monster, Suyin manages to gather her daughter and rescue people from the water. However, Jonas is left with no options and decides to risk everything in a final attack. He swiftly advances toward the megalodon and maneuvers skillfully beneath it, using the side of his submarine to cut into the creature's belly, causing blood to gush out. However, the megalodon immediately retaliates, biting Jonas's submarine and piercing the capsule. With no alternative, Jonas is forced to exit the submarine, while the creature continues to damage the metal, giving him the opportunity to approach the monster's head and attack its eye with his weapon. The megalodon reacts furiously, carrying Jonas towards the surface and leaping out of the water. This gives Jonas the chance to deliver the fatal blow before both of them plunge back into the ocean. Shortly after, a group of sharks is attracted by the megalodon's blood and begins tearing apart the giant. In the final scene, Suyin manages to rescue Jonas before he becomes prey as well, pulling him away from the frenzied scene. After being saved by nearby individuals, the team celebrates the victory over the creature and honors the memory of their fallen friends. As the ship takes them toward the horizon, they bask in their triumph. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please leave your like and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos. Turn on notifications and remember, until next time.